push through those squiggly lines. But here we go. The card's sideways, and the gate is down. We're racing in the final plus 25.
Firing off into turn number 1. I see a Honda up the inside. That looks to be Heath Harrison, who got to the corner first on the 42 as he leads him through, picks up the stay-safe pole shot. He has got the 21, I think that is, or the 71 perhaps right behind him.
Nelco, maybe.
71 of Nelco, yes, absolutely, in second place early on. And right away they get to see what they did to this racetrack, cleaning up these first 2 sections. A lot of dirt moved off to the side. So Harrison clean through on the front. It is Nelco in second. And the 37 ride, that is Mitchell France in third.
So taking a look now, Harrison already putting a couple of bike lengths between himself and the 71 of Nelco. I feel like we've been beating a dead horse here, but Nelco running the GNCCs earlier this year, feeling good in these conditions. Look, Mega, I didn't know you were about to pick up the microphone. I'm sorry. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. He's up front right now, riding motocross.
It's the off-road, blah, 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 woods riders, blah, 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 blah. I am so tired.
Peanut butter and jealous.
Do you see trees in the middle of the Ten Commandments? No, you don't.
I see ruts.
Heath Harrison, Heath Harrison. How much time he spend in the woods? 0. Where's he at? Out front.
Actually, Heath Harrison was at the GNCCs earlier this year, but he was working as a mechanic, so he's studying up too, Mega.
Hey, your hero has left the tower, okay? You can stop at the hall. Your hero has left the tower. Okay?
All right, you're right. I like a good live engine start. I'm Team Moto with it.
Oh, man. So there we see Nelco coming down the back straightaway. He is already about 3-4 seconds behind Heath Harrison, who's putting the work in out front, trying to pull away with that early race lead. Trying to see if we can peek out and get a glance at where Jacob Hayes is.
He was about mid-pack when after the start. He got kind of closed off right after the start, but I think he is making his way up through the pack. I think he's coming over the jump right here, right by us.
Okay, there you go.
Into the
Jacob Hayes.
sweeper.
And goggles already off by the looks of it for Jacob Hayes. So in the back section, getting roosted, maybe got a little bit of water between the lens and his face, and has already pulled the goggles. He's got to try to make some quick passes and not eat too much roost.
And that is going to be tough out here in these conditions. Like you said, the dirt's thickening up, so it is going to be getting sprayed with chunks of mud instead of just a splatter. Heath Harrison comes across the line leading the way with a 151. Ben Nelco in second. Mitchell France rounding out the top 3. Lance Visit and Carlos Badali rounding out your top 5. Then it is Jacob Hayes and Ben LeMay, another big name right there, 6th and 7th. Luke Vonlinger 8th. Travis Hardcastle 9th. And Brock Peterson rounding out the top 10.
We work our way into the commandments. There is Harrison going off your screen. Couple guys getting some doubles in there, but it seems like if you go to that inside line right now, Kira, you've got to roll a little bit. It's pretty sloshy on that inside.
Definitely, and that's where all the water from the track's draining is into those inside lines. So we see a lot of pileups we actually have a pileup in the corner right before the Ten Commandments right now. I can't really tell who it is.
And I believe that was 2 riders inside the top 10. I'm trying to see if the brands match up, but they came together hard as they were getting ready to enter the 10 Commandments.
And then the 14 of Lance Vincent went down after the Commandments. He just picked it up. I think he maybe lost 4 or 5 positions, so he was in 4th. We'll see where he ends up now. But Nelco trying to get away in 2nd place and keep touch with Harrison, establishing a little bit of a gap back to the riders behind him.
And I'm telling you, watch out for David Lameth Jr. He was sitting in that 11th place spot, but he's been able to keep it on 2 wheels. I've watched him make 4 or 5 passes just in the last couple of straightaways. The sneaky 16 moving into the top 10.
Nelco paddling his way through that sand section. He's going to start feeling a little bit of heat closing up. Looks like Mitchell France on that Yamaha is starting to tighten the gap down, and before long we may have ourselves a battle brewing for the 2nd position. Peeking out and seeing where Jacob Hayes has made it to. I think he is now into our top 5, or he's just outside the top 5. He's still right behind. I think that is Lance Vincent who picked it up right in front of him. So Hayes now working with Vincent as they come through the middle section of the racetrack, and we're watching that battle just up ahead of them, still in for 2nd, Nelco in France.
So taking a look, coming around the Polysport Pond, we're looking at your, I believe that's Nelco at the top of the screen, getting ready to come through the finish line in the 2nd place spot. So the 71 hanging on right now.
Harrison has opened the gap up between 1st and 2nd to 11 seconds.
Yeah, Kira, look at those lap times right there. You're seeing Harrison putting down some absolute heat in the front.
Heath Harrison's currently running a 156.8, and then 2nd place Ben Nelco is running a 203.4, so that's quite a difference between our 1st and 2nd lap times. And our 3rd place rider, Mitchell France, is actually running a 202, which is faster than our 2nd place rider.
Right, we're seeing that gap kind of tighten down as Mitchell France closes up on Ben Nelco, so that battle for 2nd starting to tighten up a little bit. And as I say that, a small mistake right there for France. Couldn't get that middle double as they started rolling their way into the commandments. He's got his eyes focused forward, and he's still trying to figure out, wow, Nelco went way out into the deep stuff. and lost a little bit of ground. So here we go, battle for second brewing.
Taking a look, Jacob Hayes checks in with a 2:06. Going to have to drop a couple of seconds to really get into even a chance of breaking into the top 5, let alone a podium. Brock Peterson was another one of those Red Riders on the move. The number 7 bumps it up into the 7th place spot with Hardcastle, Lambeth, and Scrotus rounding out the top 10.
Not sure what happened to the 26 of Ben LeMay, who was also up in the mix early on. Like we said, he has slipped all the way down to 16th, so perhaps a small crash for the 26, or got caught out by some of that mud on the side of the racetrack. Just takes one little excursion offline and you're stuck.
You hit the nail on the head, Kellen. It takes so little out here for you to lose upwards of 5 positions. These riders are ultimately relatively close right now, still early in the race. You get off in the thick stuff, you tip over for just a second, you've lost 3 or 4 spots.
So we continue to watch the battle. That is Nelko in second, coming over the middle tabletop right there. And Mitchell France, he is closing up, but he's just not quite close enough to think about making a pass, but certainly inching this gap down.
This is the gap where France is able to study. He's able to see where Nelko's going. If he picks a spot where he's like, hey, I think this is the opportunity to strike, look for France to make a move there. As we see Umbella picking up off the side of the track, jumping into the Polysport pond. Now back on screen in Racer TV, that's Nelko just doubling. This shows you these guys are fast. They are some of the faster riders we've had all week, and they are doubling right after the finish line. Nelko getting ready to head off into the woods. Outside our view here in the tower, Heath Harrison starts making his way through the 10 Commandments, and look at Harrison, single, taking his time. He's put in the work early so that he doesn't have to take the risks here. Nelko, meanwhile, has a rearview mirror full of the Yamaha of Mitchell France.
Yeah, so now we get to see them work their way through the Commandments again, and that's a good overhead shot of how difficult the conditions are here in the Commandments. Ruts going every direction.
Definitely, and looking at our top 5 here, Jacob Hayes is running a same lap time as our leader Heath Harrison, and he has now moved up into 4th. It's difficult to pass in these conditions, though. It's one thing to catch a rider, but it's another to get around a rider, especially in this type of condition of a track.
Yeah, great catch there, Kira. Hayes making the pass for 4th just before he came into the 10 Commandments. And so the Kawasaki rider making moves on that last lap. He ran a 2-minute flat, matching Heath Harrison's lap time exactly. So the number 9, he's getting hungry. He's headed towards the front.
Finally, Mitchell France has gotten through around Ben Nelko. By the looks of it, he is into 2nd place, and we'll see if a little bit of clean air, he can start opening up that gap ever so slightly, and we'll see whether or not, in the flip side of that, if Hayes from behind can start inching up into our battle for 2nd place. Remember, Hayes is trying to keep a clean streak of 2nd place finishes going through this week as well, so he would love to get up there, even if he can't get Harrison, still get another 2nd place.
Absolutely. Jacob been having a strong return to the ranch out here this year in 2023, and I think he's been enjoying it as well, but I know he'd be enjoying it more if he was able to continue that streak and at least continue to put it on the box, as it does look like Nelko has lost the position to France, so the Yamaha rider moves into 2nd. Jacob Hayes, he's starting to close up on the back of Nelko as well. He's moving forward.
Yeah, he's hanging off the back of that machine, flying through the sand, putting the foot down, doing it all without goggles this entire way. Hasn't made a pit stop or tried to grab goggles. He is just fully focused ahead. And man, you just take a little bit of roost in the eyes. That stuff is painful, but you only got to do it for 12 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are true warriors in every sense of the word. And like you said, this is a 12-minute race here. This one's going to take you a while, as once again we watch Harrison just outside our window going through the 10 Commandments. That's Hayes on screen coming through the woods. There is your leader, Heath Harrison, on the number 42, just exiting the 10 Commandments. And it's very rarely do you see these guys going it that slow. These guys are slowing way down and taking their time, rolling the throttle on, because that shiny base under there, that's actually hard-packed slick dirt.
Right.
There is one person who's not slowing down, though. He actually is the fastest lap time of the race as of right now, 1:59, Jacob Hayes.
There it is, the number 90. He's bringing the heat.
Yeah, dipping it down. He's 5 seconds faster than Nelko up ahead. And Mitchell France, who made that pass on France to get into, or I should say France, who made the pass on Nelko to get into 2nd place. But man, Nelko's not done with them. They are still absolutely fighting for it over this 2 spot.
Like we said, Nelko, no stranger to these conditions. He's going to make the most of it. He's found the lines now, and it seems like the 71 starting to push back forward. He wants to get back around the Yamaha.
Jumping out down this back straightaway, they're going to get off the back of those machines and carry the momentum through the sand. Drag a foot there, here or there for Ben Nelko. And we'll see if we can see a flash look maybe of Jacob Hayes starting to peek up in the background.
There he is. Look at that. The same camera shot. You're able to see the Kawasaki just gritting it out. Goggles off early in this one. And that is tough. Even if you don't get any roost in the eyes, just the wind, as far as these guys, as fast as they're going, it's hard to keep the eyes open. And look at that, Hayes just fighting to get up on top of the jump.
White flag just waved for our race leader out front, Mitchell Harrison, or Heath Harrison, I should say, not Mitchell. That's the other racer.
Close.
Close enough. Couple Harrisons. But yes, that battle for second still going on. France dealing with the pressure from Nelko. Hayes is charging. He is going to see that white flag and say, I got to send it on this last lap if I want to get up there and battle for second.
Yeah, it is going to take a lap of the ages for the number 90 to catch back up to Ben Nelko and be able to pass, as well as have a chance to get around Mitchell France.
Oh man, just looking, you can see right there the 37 of France is hanging it out, the rear end fishtailing all the way down the straightaway. But all that matters is throttle on. Got to keep that elbow down.
Feet are optional. Throttle must be wide open at all times, though. So now watching on screen, single, single, single. There's a double. And it is insane to watch the Junior Plus 25 class taking the same lines that we saw some of the 50s taking. I mean, these guys, they're more than happy to pull a double out, to jump a jump if they're capable. If all of the riders are saying, we got to roll these, that ought to tell you all you need to know. So doubling off into Storyland, and now we're starting to see more of that shiny hard pack base Kevin Kelly mentioned. We're going to start pushing all the loose dirt off the top, and it's going to be a really slick base. But right now, you can throw whatever you want at this guy. He's going to get the start, and he is going to check out right now. The 42, Heath Harrison. What a performance. What a start.
Well, we talked about it before the gate drop, man. It's tough to beat Heath Harrison off the start. He rips those things, and even he chose far inside going to the first corner. We talked all about, outside gate, swoop the corner. Harrison's like, let me just go right down along the side of the flags going into that first turn.
And I'm telling you what, Heath Harrison, I know his dad probably stopped at the concessions early. He's got 2 cherry snow cones waiting on him, because that's their little tradition. He knows if he's getting ready to bring it home, he's going to have a cherry snow cone waiting on him. And I think he's going to do it. Here he comes on the Phoenix Honda, the number 42, Heath Harrison, going to get the job done. And that's a fist pump of, yep, I came to handle business, and that's what I did. Grabbing the win here in Junior Plus 25, Moto 3.
Yeah, it looks like France crosses the line in second. Nelko will hold on for third. And before long, there is Jacob Hayes. So maybe one more lap we could have seen Jacob Hayes get in the mix, but not quite close enough when the flag waved. Lance Vincent should finish up in the 5 spot behind that, with Carlos Battiali crossing in 6th. Brock Peterson moved all the way up into 7th in this one, ahead of Luke Bondlinger, Travis Hardcastle, and Tyler Skadras. Looks to be our top 10 finishers in this one. We still got battles coming all the way to the flag, though. They're pushing into the Thor stand corner around the Polysport Pond. A couple guys looking back.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, David Lameth Jr., he's trying to fight for it. This is the top 10 that we are watching coming to the finish here, so we aren't entirely sure on the backside of the top 10 yet. As we wait, Brock Peterson officially checks in the 7th place spot. Vollinger does hold on to 8th, and we'll see these final 2 spots. There it is. So Skodras hops up to 9th, and Travis Hardcastle going to grab this final spot in the top 10. David Lameth Jr. just outside in 11th, with Justin Kurtz grabbing 12th. And, man, there was a lot of shuffling in the backside of the top 10 there.
No question about it. But Heath Harrison sweeps the motos here in Junior 25 Plus. It's going to regroup, talk about it a little bit down there, and then soon he will speak to our Jason Wygant.
What'd I say? Cherry snow cone. There it is, folks. And there is your plus 10. A little bit of Arma and then a little bit of cherry snow cone. That's the winning secret out here. And as you can see, Jason Wygant getting everything together. We're going to turn it over to Jason whenever you're ready for your Junior Plus 25 podium.
Oh, we're ready, baby. We're ready to pop some champagne and celebrate another national championship. Becoming a bit of a dynasty here for this man. Starts with the Stasic Hole Shot Award and it ends with the #1 plate. We'll bring the plate on up and hand it over. 25 plus champion. Let's hear for Heath Harrison. Will you let it eat again? Your starts have been, there goes your gift certificate. Your starts have been unbelievable. Here, you hold this and talk and I'll get that. Okay. Your starts have been nuts.
Yeah, my starts have been pretty good. Not like last year, but that one was a big one. So we'll try to go off in this next Pro Sport Moto with one of those and go from there, see how we can do in it. But I'm stoked, man. This is my 3rd championship here, my first one that my sister's able to make it to and see. So I'm excited about that. Man, my whole family's here. This is sweet, dude. I'm excited.
One sec. Well, it's a tough class. Guys are starting to gun for you, and you're holding them off. Who else you want to thank, Heath?
Yeah, the whole Phoenix Racing Honda team, Wayne, Gino, Dalen, those guys are killing it for me today. All the Honda guys for cheering me on with their other guys in the pro sport and college boy classes, so that's sweet. And just David, everybody back home watching, thank you, and all the partners we have with Phoenix Racing, and we just couldn't do it without all those guys, and thank you all.
All right, there it is. Heath Harrison is your national champ, 25 plus. All right, you can go chill and come back up later and shake some champagne. Did I give it to you? How about that? Gypped you on the medal. We jumped the gun. I was so pumped on the title. All right, go hang out, and we're going to bring up second and third. We're looking for France. Second place going to go to Mitchell France here. This is a good story as well. I mean, honestly, anybody that's surviving these motos, it is still treacherous. Don't let the sunshine fool you. Let's hear for our second place finisher, silver medal for Mitchell France. How was it?
It was slippery.
I would think. Yeah, you want to thank some people?
Yeah, I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe all week, and I want to thank my parents, Rosno Power Sports, Rider Engineering, Turbo Speed Tuning, OGs, Total Performance Graphics, MFR Racing, Hoosier Tires for allowing me to hook up so good on the start, JPD Construction, Action Homes, Lasco Ford, One Touch Painting. I mean, anybody else I forgot, thanks.
All right, there it is, Mitchell France, second place. And real quick, Ben Nelko, I believe, was third, so I got to hand out the bronze for our third place finisher. And he's on his way up, and then let you guys call lap 2 of our next division. Real quick, bronze medal goes to Benjamin Nelko. It's a good crew you got over there. Some characters. How was that moto?
Man, it was rough. You know, I've been racing GNCC for a while now, and that's pretty close to one right now.
That is true.
Like the first lap, not the whole race.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
That's how I knew your name. I'm like, I know Nelko. I know Nelko from off-road. That's right. Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, everybody at the Shoals MX, Stu Baylor. But he's been training me now for like the last 3 years. It's been helping a ton. Russ and Tracy Wood from the Shoals, Deep South Kawasaki, JDP Suspension, Callus Moto Gear, my mom and dad, 6D, Scott, and anybody I forgot, thanks.
All right, let's hear for Ben Nelko, third. That's 25 plus. Take it away, boys.